Hey, what is good with y'all? It's your boy KAG, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo NX being two devices rather than one single device. Now, before you do that, let's go ahead and hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 20 likes on this video. Now, with all that being said, let's hop into this. Now, a lot of people are saying that Nintendo NX is going to be a hybrid of some sorts, but maybe not necessarily so, because Nintendo typically has a handheld market and they have a home console market, and these two markets have thrived alongside each other for a very long time. Now, with that being said, Nintendo has two different demographics. Some people like handhelds and some people like consoles, and it's just a fact of the nature. Some people like both, but generally everybody has a preference on which one they actually like. Now, with that being said, here's a little bit of information on what I think could happen as far as the Nintendo NX goes. Now, if you look at the fact that the NX is supposed to be taking cartridges, this could be a sign that it's a mobile device, right? But not necessarily so, because we also have a patent out that says that a home console type device takes a cartridge. But then again, we have the device that is supposedly like a klepto side or rounded, handheld type device that also takes a cartridge. These are two separate different patents that are out there. Now, with that being said, what could potentially happen is, as you all know, Nintendo went ahead and they jointed the groups of their handheld division and their console division. Now, with that being said, we know that over in Japan, people like handhelds there. Over here in America or Europe or wherever you may be, majority of those people like consoles rather than handhelds. Now, to appeal to both of them, what if we create two separate devices that play the exact same games? Now, the reason why I say this is because let's say you have a handheld, right? You can have a handheld take the same cartridge as the console, but the handheld would play it in a lower graphic. So because it's not a larger screen like a traditional console, it can technically play the game in a lower resolution. Everything about it is a little bit lesser. Now, you can have the console, and you can also have that there, and it also plays those games, but it plays it in a higher resolution because it plays it on a TV. Now, you have these two separate devices. Now, they could both be about the same price. You could have maybe the handheld be $250 like a handheld usually is, or somewhere between there, and then you could have the console be either $250 or maybe $299. And so, for those people that don't really care about a handheld type device and they just want to play The Legend of Zelda on their console, they can just go ahead and pick up the NX home version, or the console version. For those people who are more like, oh, I like to be on the go, I like to play my games on the go, they can pick up the handheld version and they can play their games on the go. But regardless of which device they decide to go with, they can just go ahead and take the SD card, or should I say, the cartridge, and put it inside either device, and you'll be able to play the exact same games. So that means there'll be plenty of games for handheld users, there'll be plenty of games for console users, because they both play the exact same games, because they appeal to both markets. Now, if we remember back a while back, Mr. Iwata went ahead and he made a statement that he would like to possibly even be able to create more devices and not necessarily bring them together. If you bring them together as a hybrid, then that means that you're eliminating one of the devices, so you can't sell as much hardware. But if you have a home version and a on-the-go version, then that means you can technically play at home or on the go. You can sell just as many handheld devices or console devices. Now, with that being said, because it is a cartridge-based media, if you by chance happen to buy both of them, you can take the cartridge out of the home console, and when you're on the go, you can put it in the handheld version of it and be on the go. And as I said in a previous video, we all know 3DS does not have any games lined up that are supposed to be coming out. Now, instead of that, you know, maybe you'll be playing the new Pikmin on your handheld version or your console version, the new Zelda on the handheld version or the console version. Now, this could be possible because if the handheld is the power of, let's say, a Wii U, then it is possible that you could still be playing that game on the go. It's just in a handheld format. Then you have the console version, which may be stronger and may be more powerful than the handheld version, which I would expect it to be. And that one can also play it, but it plays it in a much higher resolution. You're not playing the Wii U version of it, you're playing the NX version of it. So it's not like it's a portable Wii U. Now, with that being said, we could possibly look at the handheld as being more like a portable Wii U rather than, you know, a complete huge upgrade of a console. And, you know, and when you look at both those formats, then you're like, okay, well that could technically work. I can play my games on the go if I want to play my games on the go. I can play my games at home if I want to play my games at home. Now, the handheld version would have two screens like a 3DS, but except it would have the dual analog sticks and it would be a on-the-go version. And then you would have your home console version that you could play, and it would also have a screen on it, or it could have a traditional controller, whichever, and you could play the games like that. Now, with that being said, you know, when you think about it, if you have two devices, you don't necessarily have to have a touchscreen, because the handheld version doesn't necessarily have to have a touchscreen. It could just be a screen with an actual analog sticks, sort of like how the rounded version is. And then the console version just have like a regular controller, because a lot of people are saying, hey, that handheld portion of the controller for the console version is raising the price up. But, you know, if you go ahead and you give it a traditional controller, then you don't have that issue. Now, on the other hand, your handheld version, it could also just be one screen. So it could be a one screen device and have, you know, your analog triggers as well as your physical face buttons on it. But, you know, you're getting the exact same experience on both devices. You can play the games on both devices. Granted, one may be more, have more resolution, but then again, you don't have the benefit of also being mobile while you're playing these games. So, you know, each one has its own little downside to it. So you can either play at home and have a good time with higher definition, which is what a lot of people want. They just want a regular console with good graphics that they can play at home. And then you can have the handheld version, which is pretty much a portable, let's say, Wii U, and that you can just play those games on the go, but it's not quite the quality of graphics as far as the console version would be. But, you know, you're still having the exact same experience, just a little downgraded. So that's another way to look at it if y'all like this theory. And if you do not like this theory, go ahead and leave a comment down below in the comment section and let me know what y'all think. And by the way, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, because we talk about all things Nintendo here. And I'll talk to you on another one. Peace.